As we sit back and we still go back and forth with one another, the government is now voting to make the draft open. It's going to go through. Those with sons, and I say this with a heavy heart, those with sons, I pray that your son is not drafted into this war that has absolutely nothing to do with us. The last draft was in Vietnam. And those that are old enough can remember, those that are young that have family members that served in Vietnam, we saw how they came back, and we saw the casualties. Iran has already tried to send off a missile to America. This is a time that we need to spend on knowing the laws when it comes to draft. And they're also deploying those that are in the military over to Iran to protect the embassy. These are the things that we really need to talk about. We know that young black men, young Latina men, and now that women are allowed to fight in the war, are going to be the first. And there's no way to escape it. The only way those in the Vietnam War escaped was their parents sent them to Canada. If they remained in the United States, then military police would come to the house and arrest them and put them in military jail for not responding to the draft. The planes and the ammunition that they're using is actually military crafts and weapons that America sold to them. We're in a new decade. You're looking at a president who planned this all out. Again, it's either under documentaries or it's under international movies where you will see when Syria, the president of Syria, was sold over $300 billion worth of aircraft, worth of weapons. And his agenda is to rule the entire Middle East. But when you sell them things like that, they can also use it against you. So I pray that none of you all sons get pulled into this war. In Vietnam, those who survived it came back home addicted to heroin to them in order to keep them fighting and for them to deal with all the killing that they weren't used to doing. And now they're suffering from PTSD. A 17-year-old should not be drafted into a war. And unfortunately, in America, at 17, a male is considered an adult. At 18, a girl is considered an adult. And we all know that age does not equivalent to the maturity of their mind. And they put them in boot camp. And in boot camp, they break them down. They're broken down to not think for themselves, but to think military. It's a complete mental breakdown and reprogramming of the mind, which is why when they do come home, they suffer from PTSD. Those that don't even go to war, boot camp breaks them so bad that they suffer from PTSD. So I leave you all in prayer. I hope that no one on this platform, son, gets drafted, and that Allah puts all this to rest. This war was predicted through Minister Farrakhan over 10 years ago. That was the purpose for the second Million Man March. It's preparation, defense, knowing how to defend your family, going through a boot camp, knowing how to feed your family. We are also in a food shortage. I'm quite sure some of you all have gone to stores and the product that you want is not in stock. But there's a food shortage going on. We are so overpopulated that there's not enough land and there's not enough food to feed people in America. So again, I leave you all in prayer. And I hope that this message gets to everyone. Even if you're not a mother, you're an aunt, you're a father, you're a godparent to some young man. And I pray that the draft does not touch them, that they remain covered and remain in favor of Allah. Assalamu alaikum and shalom.